Thank you, Phil. That was an excellent speech. Join me in a round of applause.
Madam Toastmaster. Well, despite everything that happened that day, I'm still mountain biking, and I still go to Whistler. But I did learn a few things. I don't do any double black runs anymore, or mostly. I'm always on the lookout for wildlife, and I never take my glasses off. And now I'm on my way home, a day early, with glasses that are barely hanging off my head, stuck together with duct tape and crazy glue, 5 stitches in my finger, again, and memories of being so close to a black bear, I could smell his rancid breath. My first stop is a hardware store for duct tape and crazy glue. It's another perfect day, not a cloud in the sky, and my mountain biking buddies have already hit the trails. I'm so disappointed I'm not with them. But it could have been worse. I could have been lying in a hospital bed with a broken hip, and that would have been no fun. I lucked out finding a clinic right across the street from my hotel. It was a bit embarrassing, though, getting my finger stitched again just after it finished healing. Such an idiot. Well, that was the end of my biking vacation. The next day, I'd be going home. After I told them what had happened, we all had a big laugh, and I proceeded to find a clinic or a hospital nearby. As I got off the chair, there were my mountain biking buddies, wondering where the heck I'd been. Now, the most humiliating ride you can do at Whistler is going down the chairlift. You feel like one of those guys that gets to the top, thinking they can do anything, and finding out they're a little bit over your head. Well, I wasn't one of those guys. But no one else knew that. I finally finished riding that miserable trail. That was the hardest ride of my life. My hip was throbbing, and my fingers started bleeding again. Luckily, though, I could take the chair down the rest of the way. I had bandages and gauze in my backpack, so I could fix my finger temporarily. But now, I had to continue riding down that same trail. There was no shortcuts and no escape route. And the worst thing was, my hip was throbbing so badly that I couldn't walk at all. So I had to ride. And as I was going, I realized what an appropriate name this trail had. I thought I had broken it, but I could stand. That was good. But when I took my glove off to dust myself off, oh no! I ripped that same finger open again! The rest of the day was uneventful, except for the very last run. It was on a double black diamond run called, get this, In Deep. Now you have to understand something about a double black at Whistler. It's kind of like those guys that go over waterfalls in their kayaks. Once you're committed, you're in. And you're just hanging on for dear life, trusting your instincts and your skills. But every once in a while, something goes wrong. And as you know, bad luck was already on my side that day. As I reached one of the drops, I thought I could make it. But it was just too high. And over the handlebars I went. Down on one hand and over on my left hip with a horrible sounding thud. I haven't come that close to a black bear, even in a zoo. And after that experience, I thought, what else could go wrong today? Little did I know. I stopped 1 foot away from him. My heart was pounding out of my chest, and my whole body was just covered in sweat. Fortunately, he was just as frightened as I was, and ran off into the bush. As I sat there and got my composure, I thought, I'm glad I went for the $800 brakes. We were screaming down the run, loving every minute of it, like 2-year-olds on their first tricycle. But as I rounded one of the bends, I guess because I didn't have my glasses on, it was a bit of a blur at first, but then I realized, oh my God, there's a black bear right in the middle of the trail! And he wasn't riding a bike! I could mostly see without them. So I put them in my backpack, and we proceeded to ride to the next trail. A long, windy run called Freight Train. It's full of all kinds of berms and curves and jumps. So much fun. There they were, right in the middle of the trail. Except now, they are in about 3 pieces and bent beyond recognition. That's what happens when 40 or 50 mountain bikers run over them. However, nothing but a little duct tape and crazy glue won't fix. When I got to the bottom of the trail, oh no, I realized I forgot my glasses on top of the ridge. So we had to go all the way up the chair and back down again for that same run to find them. So I volunteered to stand at the top of the ridge and get his picture as he was coming up for the jump. And in order to do so, in order to focus the camera, I took my glasses off and put them down beside me. On the first run of the day, one of my riding partners thought it would be really cool to get his picture taken on one of the step-ups. Now that's a U-shaped run like this. The idea is you come racing down one side and then shoot straight up the other and land on top of a ridge. I mean, do it right and you get pretty good air. It was a perfect day for a ride. And I was looking forward to getting back on my bike. You see, a month ago, I ripped my finger open at Mount Washington, and it had just finished healing. But I thought, no, this was fine. The doctor said, give it another couple of weeks. I said, no, that's all right. I'll be careful. Mountain biking. It's not for everyone, but it's what motivates me. It gives me that adrenaline rush. And Whistler Mountain is the ultimate challenge. But a day at Whistler can be full of surprises. And 2 years ago, it was one of those days. This is my picture. And let me tell you my story. Madam Toastmaster, fellow communicators, special guests. The end.
Please join me in welcoming Phil. Phil's speech title is Whistler at Viking Mountain. Let me introduce Phil. He is our most seasoned Toastmaster. Next year he will celebrate his 30th anniversary with our club. In the past 3 decades, Phil achieved his Distinguished Toastmaster, DTM, and gave many speeches. On any Saturday morning, you will find Phil riding trails at the Heartland Road landfill. Once Phil shared this passion with us by donning full gear and riding his bike around these tables as a grand entrance to deliver his speech. Our second speaker is Phil Edney. 2 minutes for notes.